Good morning. It's G Butterfly, and I'm coming to you live from the parking lot like I always do. Well, today is an episode of the funny things that seniors say. Well, I went to visit my uncle this past weekend, and you would have to know that my uncle is funny as hell, about 80 years old, and just hilarious to me. And when he says stuff, it's hilarious. And it's just his delivery that I think is very funny to me. Well, he was looking at some stuff around his house, and we ran across this. Now, if you know what this is, you know this is an urn. And actually, this is my sister. Now, some of you may think that's morbid. I don't. To me, this is still my sister. I'm just showing you this so you can get context of what I'm getting ready to say. This, I'm not talking about this, my sister per se. I'm going to talk about something else that happened on Sunday. Now, he was looking at some things around his house, and we ran across another urn, a little bigger than this, but he looked at it, he was like, why we got two of them up there? My aunt passed away in December. She was not cremated. She's actually buried at the cemetery. So he didn't have her to ask who the other urn was for. Lo and behold, me, him, and my chocolate drop was sitting there, and me and my uncle going back and forth, just, running over in our mind, who could this possibly be? We knew who this was. He couldn't figure out who was in the other urn. He was like, get that out of here. Because we could not figure out who the other urn was for. And so I'm sitting there racking my brain like, okay, my aunt's siblings are still living. Her son is buried. My uncle didn't have any family that he would have urns for, and we are just racking our brain. Okay, who could this be? If he said, get that out of here, get that. He wanted that urn to go. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, who in the world could this belong to? Long story short, I can find humor in everything. Life is too short to be so serious all the time. Well, lo and behold, I got it, and I looked around. I was looking at it, and I'm like, well, the urn don't look real familiar, but we're going to figure it out. Me being my silly self, I asked myself, you want me to open it so you can see if you recognize them? He was like, get that out of here, get that. You would have had to have seen my uncle's facial expression and how he started backing up like, get that out of here. I told you, my uncle is funny. Well, lo and behold, make a long story short, after we talked to another family member, we figured out who the ashes belonged to. And so we're like, okay, we remember. But hey, I got to go in this building to make these donuts. But I had to tell y'all another funny story. Something funny that those seniors say. And the funny thing my uncle said was, get that out of here. Get that out of here. All right, let me get off this line and get in this building so I can go make the donuts. And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.